Get ready to cozy up your living room with the warm and inviting ambience of fall. Today I'm sharing my fall decorating inspiration and how you can create a warm and welcoming home. Hello and welcome everyone. My name's Lesa and I'm so glad that you have joined me today. We are putting some finishing touches on my fall decorating here in my living room. I am excited to show you what I did, give you new ideas and inspiration. I'm starting this video off a little bit different than usual today. This is my antique secretary. I got it for $40 off of Facebook Marketplace a year ago, and I really love decorating this, but I wanted to add some grass cloth to the back of this. I picked out a really pretty removable wallpaper that looks like blue grass cloth, and it was super easy to work with, very affordable. I think this is going to lighten up the display space in my antique secretary. When you're applying this, just make sure your surface is clean and dry, and then work your way from the top down, making sure that you push out any bubbles. This was an easy beginner project if you've never done wallpaper or removable wallpaper before, because you don't have to match up the pattern. Since it was just that grass cloth line, then you didn't have to worry about that. But instantly you can see how light, bright, and airy this looks. And I think you're going to be able to see all of the decor so much better. And hopefully this is an idea that you can use in a cabinet that you have in your home. Now that I have that quick and easy project done and checked off my to-do list, I have gathered my home decor for fall all here on the floor in my living room. I always suggest doing this. This helps you to see what you have and to see how the colors are going to work together. I'm going to share with you a little before picture. I have done a deep clean on my living room. This is a great time to just go over everything top to bottom, since you do have all of the decor pulled off and out of your cabinets and off of your surfaces. For added fall ambience, I have put up a vintage fall TV art. There are all kinds of TV art to choose from if you just search on YouTube. I decorated my TV console off camera. It is so hard to film this, I have discovered, because the doors being open and it being close quarters of me blocking your shot. So I'm just gonna give you a little view here of everything that I did. A lot of this home decor stays in this cabinet. I just switched out some of my more spring and summer looks for fall, adding in those pumpkins and then that fall greenery. I'm keeping the styling of my vintage foot bath simple by using these faux hydrangeas from Hobby Lobby. They put these out in the fall, and I actually use these throughout my home all year long. They are a great staple floral that you can get a lot of use out of, and they bring in that fall feel without overwhelming my beautiful foot bath. On each side of my vintage foot bath, I'm going to use a stack of books with just some simple fall decor. I have that green glass pumpkin for one side, and then my recent purchase from Walmart is this gold leaf. You want to keep everything low profile when you're styling your TV console. Moving back to that antique secretary, and you can see all of the decor I picked out for the shelves and the top. The shelves are pretty narrow and they're not very tall, so I have to always keep that in mind when I'm selecting the decor. I like to work in a zigzag and an X pattern, making sure that I distribute my home decor evenly amongst the shelves, meaning that I have some books on each shelf, opposite sides from the top to the middle to the bottom. I have a good mix of blue and white decor because that is my favorite all year long, that I put in my Staffordshire dogs, as well as some vintage art that I picked up at a recent estate sale. I'm bringing in some of my brass statues and then just softening it all up with some greenery and some Wedgwood miniature plates. You get the idea. I just like to put a lot of my trinkets in here but make them nicely displayed. Those two owl prints are the ones that I got from the recent estate sale. I believe they were like $3 each, so very affordable. In fact, most of the stuff in here I've had for many, many years, or I've picked up over the years by thrifting and searching those estate sales. The top of the secretary, I'm going to layer a book and a marble box. And then another thrift find was this beautiful silver champagne bucket. I'm filling it with some floral foam and then covering that with some Spanish moss. You can save your Spanish moss and reuse it from arrangement to arrangement. I'm sure y'all know that, but for anybody that isn't aware that it can be reused, just store it like this in a plastic sealable bag. And then I have a variety of feathers. Some of these have been collected over the years, and then some are recent purchases from last season off of Amazon. I will link those for you. I am just randomly sticking these in here. I would love to keep collecting different varieties. These are pheasant feathers, I believe, and I would like to have different varieties for a more unique look. But that's the thing with curating your home. It takes time. You work with what you have and you build your collection over the years. This is a great styling idea if you don't particularly care for florals. This is an alternative for you, and it is perfect for fall. You can use it for Christmas and winter as well, so you get a lot of use out of it. I thrifted these vintage quail last year and was excited to bring them back out and use them again this fall. I have horrible lighting for live plants in my home, so I picked up this indoor grow light at Target, and I love it. It is keeping my little plant alive and is a great addition here on my antique secretary. Your mantle and hearth is usually the star of the show in your living room. It is typically the focal point. I have a lamp that I leave up here for ambient lighting, and then my oil painting that I've had for 23 years. I have decorated my mantle over the years in different styles. I have had elaborate decor. I've had simple decor. I feel like this year I'm a little bit in between. For me, it's probably less than usual. I have this beautiful garland I got from Hobby Lobby. It is a popular choice and I love that burgundy color. It is going to pull the colors out of that oil painting. To give it a little bit of color and texture, I have part of this little garland I cut a piece of. Again, I believe it was from Hobby Lobby. I collect things over the years and reuse them, so I try to remember, but I'm not always great about that. To balance off the light, on the other end of the mantle, I am adding this blue and white vase. These stems are also Hobby Lobby. I love that they are wispy and they're not so full, so they give that hint of color without being overwhelming and overpowering. This candle holder is going to mimic the brass on the other side of my mantle. I am going to leave it without candles though. It is okay to style your candle holders without any candles in them. I'm bringing in a little bit of silver over here and putting it on this riser. I picked these up at the thrift store and garage sales, estate sales for a couple of dollars. I like to keep these in my decorating supplies. They are great to ground your decor down, and then softening the vignette with a few smaller faux greenery stems. I say it all the time and tell y'all, do not be afraid to mix those metals like you have seen me do here with the silver and gold. Keeps your home decor interesting and fun when you do this. I have a vintage silver bowl that I'm going to use as an accent on the other side of the mantle. Inside of it, you see these little stuffed pumpkins. I'm using that just as a bowl filler to keep this faux pumpkin from falling down in the bowl. I wasn't planning on using them anywhere else, and so they worked out perfectly for this. Have to bring a little more blue and white chinoiserie onto this side of the mantle, keeping it all cohesive. I'm tucking in a few of my pumpkins in different colors, as well as this little pear. For my hearth, I have some faux mum stems. I'm using 2 of them in my blue and white planter, and then behind that, to help cover up the fire starter for my gas line, I have this vintage printer tray. I was so excited to find this at Goodwill Bins, and you will get to see that shopping trip and everything I purchased on that thrifting adventure here shortly. I have that in the works to share with you. That little wreath accents the printer tray, giving it a little depth and color. I'm adding in 3 pumpkins in different colors that go with the rest of the fall decor I've used. Simple additions, and you have the focal point of your living room. Explain this table every time. It is tucked back in the corner out of the way because it is a dog kennel, but that doesn't mean we can't dress up the top of it with a few fall decor pieces. I love to use vintage books for risers. That's what I'm doing here for my new Walmart tortoiseshell vase. In the vase, I'm just putting some simple fall stems. These have beautiful colors that will accent my vintage wall art that I have hanging above the table. I chose to also tie a frayed edge velvet ribbon around it in a soft sage green, again playing off of all of the fall colors and just giving it a little pop. I also am going to add an antler shed to the table that brings in a touch of fall with my blue and white pumpkin dish that I thrifted and shared in my recent fall thrift haul. Simple touches that are elegant and pretty, but make it cozy, warm, and inviting for the fall season. changing out your throw pillows with ones that are fall colors is another good way to bring in that cozy, warm feeling of the season. What are decorating touches that you like to add to your home as we approach autumn? Let me know in the comments. I love to hear what you're up to. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today while I decorated my living room for fall. I hope you are leaving feeling inspired, encouraged, and with a few new ideas. I always appreciate when you hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I love talking to you in the comments, and now I have that hot feature, so if you don't mind hitting that, I appreciate it all. It really does. It means so much to me. I'm glad that each and every one of you are here and part of this community. Stay blessed, have a wonderful day, and I will see you again real soon.